Okay, so Kathy talked about start local, which is city, school boards, and special districts. She covered the county and Congress, which is supervisors, CDs, precincts, and how it overlaps. We're going to talk about that. The legislative district, which is the backbone of the party, that's us. State government, the Democratic Party, I'm pretty certain that's all of us. And then why this matters now. So by starting local, this is where our power actually touches us. All right, so the ground level unit. The smallest voting unit is the precinct. That's administered by the Maricopa County Elections Group. Each precinct sits inside exactly one LD, one seat, and possibly, usually one CD, one supervisor district. We have 46 of them. 3 of which are, as we talked about earlier, is in Pinal County. Or actually in Apache Junction. A couple of them are still in Maricopa County. It's kind of interesting. So this is why we talk about precinct by precinct organizing and how this overlaps. So we have one voter, 5 layers, the same address. This is what makes up your ballot. And that's one reason why we're organizing. So you've got the congressional district, so this is one voter. Congressional district, state district, board of supervisors, city council, precinct. All of these, like this happens every 2 years if you are talking about the House. It's every 6 years if we're talking about the Senate. Legislative district every 2 years. Supervisor every 4. City council, we have districts. They're staggered. This year is 4, 5, and 6. Presidential years it's 1, 2, and 3. Precincts, like I said, we have 46 of them. And we all live in one. So we're the base. That's what I want you to think of. But remember, voters span that whole area, like I just talked about. Then in LD10, we've got 3 congressional districts, 3 school districts, and 3 judicial districts. I could just keep going. Anyway, so basically what I want to get across that every time we talk to a voter, we're essentially looking at all those 5 layers that apply to them, and that's how their ballot is built. And so my ballot could be different than my neighbor across the street because they might live in a different precinct. So our legislative districts, they're the backbone of the party. There's 30 of them in the state. Each legislative district has 1 state senator and 2 House. And like Kathy noted, we're going to have a full slate. And it's awesome. So this is kind of what we do in legislative districts. We recruit candidates, and we want to run candidate every race that we can get. The legislative districts really focus on the legislature, but that doesn't mean that our focus is that narrow, because we understand that we are part of the community, and that it means it's to be broader. So we train volunteers, canvassing, postcarding, phone banking, coordinated campaigns. I'm sure everybody that participated in 2024 remembers that. So that's when we get into GOTV. Coordinated campaign is usually the DNC sends a team here. We don't really have it during the midterms, except if we do something with we're thinking of maybe coordinating with the Chris Mays campaign to do a similar situation to get out the vote. But that's going to come later.
Then another thing that we do is develop leaders. Because remember, PCs are elected, they're the lowest elected, well, not the lowest, they're the foundational elected official. So, that was not a good way to say that. No, we're the foundation. Stop it. All right. So we go from, and this is kind of how it flows. We start off as a voter, then we volunteer, then we, the legislative district team, talks you into becoming a precinct committee person in your precinct. Then we got the legislative district. Then we talk people like Blair Moses into running for office. And then we have the county party, the state party, and the national party. So that's kind of how it works. But it starts with us. How does the Democratic Party fit into this? Okay. Well, so here we are. We have the legislative districts. We're the boots on the ground, so to speak. We went over this. We recruit candidates. We canvass. We phone bank. We help with voter registration. We train volunteers. We elect precinct committee people. We also appoint them in off-season. Then the county party coordinates the data. We get data from them. And they help with our support strategy. They also give county-level endorsements, resource allocation, and they recruit across the county. And remember in 2024, we had an almost full slate of Democrats for the first time for the county races. Now, none of them won, but that's okay. We still ran them. That's important. State party, they're the statewide infrastructure. They basically support the statewide candidates. So the governor, the attorney general, secretary of state, the state mine inspector, and they're the party platform. They do the national coordination. When the DNC comes to town, they come through them. And then they do major donor fundraising. Now, these folks do not give us any money. None. Zero. Zippo. Nothing. They do give us access to the Vote Builder, which is our van, and minivan for free. They do give us that. So, why this matters now. I'm sorry if I sound a little aggravated about that. Urgency, organizing, and the long thing. Okay, so this is why we're here today. One of the main reasons. Okay, low turnout and low information means extremists win. School board, city council, in our district, need I say any more? Turning Point USA is helping fund that. And so when we have low turnout and low information going out to people, this is what we get. Consistent organizing gets us long-term gains. This is not a sprint in this district. It is we are the tortoise. I can't say the hare. Anyway, so, and the more informed all of us are, the better we can talk to our neighbors. We get different outcomes. This is important. You don't flip districts in one cycle, you build them. We did that in 2024. We're continuing to do that now. The Democratic Party at the national level, the state level, and the county level, this is something they struggle with. We're not struggling with this. We're organizing between elections because it makes election day wins possible. That's what the Republicans do. And I mean, it's working. So, it's a good strategy. But every informed participant multiplies the impact of every other. So, every time you guys have a community party at your home, and you meet your neighbors and you realize you're not the only Democrat in your neighborhood, because you're not. This is what happens. So if we want different outcomes, we need more informed participants. We just can't show up at people's doors right before an election and ask for their support. We have to be there now. So this is really should be our mantra. The Democratic Party is the strongest when neighbors organize neighbors. So, any questions? All right, you guys have been great. You're still awake. It's awesome. You're here on Saturday. It's time for lunch.